All right, Rory, we are back with another episode of Rory and Maul Don't Know Ball. Yes. Today, Rory, we are once again joined by somebody who knows more about ball than either one of us will ever know.
Yes. And
with the 10th pick in the 2003 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select a fucking dog. A dog of all dogs. From Arizona State University, we are joined by Terrell, T. Sizzle, Suggs. How you doing, my brother?
Legend.
What's happening? What's happening? Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming on.
The legend, Terrell. How you feeling, man? How you been?
I've been good, man. Feeling really good, man. I just, I can't say I just had a newborn baby here a year now, but he knew. And he basically, he punking me, running shit.
Running your life.
Well,
running it.
It doesn't look like you have any bags under your eyes, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't have it. Like, he's sleeping now. He's sleeping now, but the first couple months was... What was sleep? Like, I didn't even know what sleep was.
Yeah, you know for sure.
I want to jump right into it with you, Terrell. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I was rooting for you. I thought that you would have gotten into the Hall on the first ballot. I still cannot believe that Terrell Suggs did not, Rory, get selected to the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. We're talking about a guy who is probably number 8 all-time in sacks.
Yeah, 8 or 9.
NFL. I mean,
number 1 for tackles for a loss. Yeah,
I just
felt
don't.
Like, what do you have to do to get into the Hall of Fame at this point?
Terrell, let's be honest here, man. How
for 2 Super Bowls? Like, what is the criteria now?
Two-time Super Bowl champion. Fucking, I don't know how many Pro Bowls. Terrell, let's be honest here, because that's what we do here, man. We talk it real. We keep it real.
Yeah.
How disappointed were you in not being selected as first ballot?
I was extremely disappointed. I ain't even gonna lie. I was heartbroken when I was extremely disappointed because I'm like the first Raven that didn't get in on the first ballot.
Insane.
You know what I mean?
Insane.
J.O. in on his first ballot.
Yeah.
Ray was in his first ballot.
Yeah.
Is Ed in there yet?
Ed Reed.
Yeah.
Ed Reed was his first ballot. And, I didn't want to be the Raven that was a finalist, you know what I mean? And didn't get in on the first ballot. So I was disappointed. But later that day, I saw Shannon Sharp.
What was he doing?
He introduced his brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm disappointed, but that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Like that was dope. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna be honest, man. That was absolutely crazy. And just being honest with you, I feel like it has a lot to do with politics. There's no other reason why Terrell Suggs is not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think they say they look for any reason not to get you in.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's whatever. Like now, if it does happen, you never know. You know what I mean? Because they made T.O. wait 3 years,
which is crazy again.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
If you're doing sit-ups in your driveway,
he definitely was the first ballot Hall of Fame.
100%.
You know what I mean? So, they made T.O. wait 3 years. So, I just don't think they will get the genuine shock that they want. You know what I'm saying? You want that genuine, but it's y'all late.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Y'all late to the party.
Right.
You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. Life goes on. The sun will rise. You know what I mean? The sun came up.
Yeah.
I was having a bad, like I said, I found I didn't get in. I was having a bad day, and my baby was having a good one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was just it was a silver line, and I was like, man, I'm all right. I'm still ahead on points.
That's a fact. Coach Bill Belichick had some great things to say about you. He said, I hope I'm not misquoting him. We had to double team him every play. And if you have to double team somebody every play, that's a Hall of Famer in Coach Bill Belichick's book. So, I mean, I still don't understand it, but what you did throughout your career, your stats and the way you played, the intensity that you brought to the game is, something that they can't take away and they can't erase. So, I mean, I think it'll happen one day, but it's politics, man. That ain't for us. You did what you had to do.
Us, man. Whenever it happens, it'll happen, man.
Yeah.
I can't, I got to keep on living. You know what I mean? I got 5 kids now.
There you go.
So
there you go.
I got to continue to be dad.
Yeah.
Let's take it back to the beginning of Terrell. What was it like growing up in Minnesota? That's one of the cities that when you find out somebody's from Minnesota, you like, really? Like, you never really meet. Growing up in New York City, we don't meet people from Minnesota. What was it like? What was it like growing up in Minnesota? And did you purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
Lake Minnetonka, I did not. But
have you been to Paisley Park?
I mean, I'm glad I saw that because I didn't want to play with toys no more. I know exactly what I wanted. But it's very cold. You know what I'm saying? It's very cold in Minnesota. And it's also like, it's a jungle in the sense of athletes. You know what I'm saying? People don't know just how competitive like Minnesota is. You know what I mean? And like I was just telling my girl the other day, I was like, it's like there's 12 Terrells out of 10 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like you had to ball like Joe Mauer. People don't know that Joe Mauer was the
baseball
only
MVP.
white player on an inner city team, and he was the best player.
Right.
Like Joe Mauer, like is a legend in Minnesota, especially in St. Paul.
Yeah.
Like he played. You know, you played midget and pee wee ball. He was 10. You know what I'm saying? He was 8 when we were 10, and he was the best player. Dominated, not just in football but basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in pee wee football, they pretty much let Joe kind of like he can audible. Like, have you heard of a kid audible in football?
And Pop Warner.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the kid had it. You know what I mean? But, like, I go to say, I needless to say, like I said, like, it was just a slew of kids. But, you know, it's all it's like a concrete jungle. You know, we're all on top of each other. You know what I mean? It's like, they don't, like, I tell my kids all the time, like, we didn't have the kind of, like, resources y'all have and like people can see y'all play. Like it was like hard to make it out. You know what I'm saying? In a city because you didn't have, you know, streaming and you know, the internet just came online. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as vast as it is now. You know what I'm saying? But like we just had kids upon kids like that just had go. You know what I mean? So like when I moved to Arizona, I was like 15 years old. They never seen nothing like me. They were like, "You're 15?" I was like, "Yeah." You know what I'm saying? I was kind of like a man child or something like that. You know what I mean? So, like Minnesota, like people need the one thing they don't know about Minnesota. They know it's cold, but they need to know about the talent in Minnesota. You know, the girl Paige Bucket just went #1, Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Larry Fitzgerald, Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Jay Sizzle, Jalen Suggs, you know what I mean? Orlando Magic, Minnesota, you know what I mean? But we got some things up there, you know what I mean?
All the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty
I couldn't
Ducks.
skate though. You know what I'm saying? I always
District
wanted
3?
to be a duck, but I couldn't skate. Couldn't ice skate. You know, when black people, we only want to play hockey for the fighting.
That's
you know
it. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's up? What's happening?
Right.
You know, show our skills.
Was there any Prince sightings when you were out there? I mean, I know you were only there for 15 years, but
no, he also like
he wasn't floating over the city.
Legend. First Avenue, baby.
Yeah.
First Avenue. You know, him and Moore's Day in the time, but we never. There's a mural of Prince, but I've never seen him.
Did you feel like when you moved to Arizona, did you feel like growing up in Minnesota kind of like you were ahead of the curve against the other kids in Arizona because you had come from such an environment that was cold?
Yeah,
you had to deal with the elements of the weather and things like that?
I felt like I said, because of the talent level, like the talent pool, it was so crowded. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to stand out, you had to stand out. Your game had to do it for you. You know what I mean? You couldn't talk in there, but you know, you come down to nice sunny Arizona, they living good. They comfortable. You remember like when Killmonger walk up in Wakanda, like y'all, like this, you know, like I'm hungry. Y'all up in here comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like that. Like think of that. When Killmonger showed up in Wakanda, that's exactly how it showed up in Arizona. I was like, oh, this is for a taking. Yeah. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't 12 Terrell to every 10 kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was more like 4.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm finna tear these odds up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it kind of spoke for itself.
Yeah. Culturally, what was that shift like? Because I mean, it's not like you moved from New York to Philly where, it's different, but it's still sort of the same. That's like polar opposites of the country.
I tell my girl and I tell my sons all the time, I'm like, yo, when I left Minnesota and I arrived in Phoenix, I had hope. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, I could do something. I could make, I'm like, yo, this could be my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize, like, Phoenix is like paradise. You know what I'm saying? Every day. You wake up in paradise every day. The weather's beautiful, except in the summer. You know, we get 120 and 125.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, yeah.
But, like, when I got here and I saw just, like, everybody was happy, and you see these nice houses and big houses and land and no snow. And it was just like I said, when I moved to Phoenix, I had hope. I was like, I can do something in my life. Like, I could potentially make it. If I go all in, like, on myself, I could potentially make it. And I did. I ended up getting a scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Like, that change of scenery did everything for me.
What was the reason your family moved to Arizona?
The winters. My dad, he had lung cancer.
Okay.
And the winters was too hard on him. And like, he would have to miss work for like weeks and weeks at a time because the wind was so bad. You know, you're in the inner city, you poor.
Yeah.
It ain't like you got reliable car with reliable heat and anything like that. So, like, the winters was too bad for him. My auntie had already lived down here. So he packed us up and moved. Packed up his boys and moved down here.
Well, what were you thinking? Because, I mean, 15, you got friends, you settled. Like, you established.
I didn't want to go. So what I was thinking, I was like, yo, I'm just going to get in some fights, be bad, get kicked out of school, get sent back. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo.
That was your plan.
Yeah. I was like, I'll be back in I said, it'll take me about a month, 2 months. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, when I got down here, and I was just like,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I could do this.
I ain't going back.
Yeah, I could do this.
I ain't never going back.
What was the music scene for you like growing up? What was some of the artists that you listened to growing up in high school, middle school? Like, what was some of your favorite artists that you listened to?
Middle school, Tupac Shakur. Definitely Tupac. I'm a Tupac guy. Big on Pop. In high school, it became Jay-Z, but most importantly, DMX. I was a DMX through and through. Is the reason I went bald early. I probably was gonna go bald early anyway, but when DMX came out in '98, he had the dog collar. You know what I'm saying? So I shaved all my hair off. Okay. And my hair never really grew back. Like
started barking in the A gap.
Yeah, I started barking at people and shit. You know, and walking like, you know what I mean? Like, when you're 16, you got an identity crisis.
Yeah,
you know
of course. Yeah.
Anybody who that's hot, you're gonna try to emulate. You know what I mean? So, but you know, my roommate would tell you, like, the first thing I hung up when he came, like when we met and when we went to college, was my DMX poster. You know what I mean? Not as dark as hell. I had the second one.
Okay.
Flesh of my
flesh, blood of my blood. Yeah.
And you know, he had that. No, I had both of them.
Okay.
Actually, blood dripped on him, and then the other one he had where he was just you know what I mean? That first album. Yeah. Man, like, DMX was high school. DMX and Jay-Z was high school.
I mean, 98 to 2000, I feel like it was the age-old debate of X versus Jay-Z.
X versus Jay-Z.
You chose X?
I chose X. Definitely. I think X was just, you know, because like Jay-Z was quote unquote, you know, he had like that Big Daddy flow. You know, he had the pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? The champagne, you know, X was street. Yeah. You know, X was hood. Like, absolutely. We ain't popping champagne. Like, no, nigga, I'm walking my dogs, my pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? Like, X was just gruddy, whereas Jay-Z was like, all right, yeah, you know, get the girls, we're gonna go party, big pimping and all that. But like, was street. You know what I'm saying? Like, X was it, man.
Was Arizona more on the West Coast shit when you got there? But I mean, I know it started to die down a bit around that time. Yeah, no, they were big on the West Coast. I mean, I think Arizona, they really cling kind of like to the LA music scene. I think artists here kind of like their flows try to be like similar. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't think they really venture out. Like, they don't have their own. Not here in Phoenix. They don't have their own like musical kind of like niche or their own style. Like, you know, Bay Area rappers, they're not LA rappers.
Right. Yeah. Right.
they got their own thing. You know what I mean? So like Phoenix, I think they just trying to like cling to the LA scene.
Maul's into the Chicano rap, so I know that's big out there.
I'm into all rap, man. I'll listen to anything, man. I whether it's good or not, I just want to hear it. Let me know if this is the sound coming out of this city. I'm like, all right, let me hear it. If it's trash, I'm gonna let you know. Like, I can't get into that. It's not for me.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, when we grew up, we was really big on like lyrical ability, lyrical talent.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Now you just get a nice little repetitive beat and a clingy little saying, maybe a little dance or a TikTok. You know what I mean? Get your song put on TikTok, and that's what they consider hot now. You know what I mean? Like when we grew up, you really had to have talent.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And like the women really had to have talent. Like you had to be able to spit with the men.
Right.
Now it's just kind of what they call like stripper rap.
Yeah,
you know
you just gotta look good. You just gotta look good.
How good is your pussy? And you know, you gotta break a bag and all this other shit. But like Eve and them, they had to spit.
Yeah, Foxy Brown.
And
Kim.
And remember, they used to put them girls in like gauntlets and have to go round for round with the men. Like, no, they wasn't just rapping against other girls.
Yeah.
You know, and they had to rap against the boys. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know what I'm saying, like that era of women rappers, like, they kind of like
it's a difference.
They their own brand. You know
Absolutely.
What I'm saying? And don't get me wrong. There's some female rappers now, I think, that got talent. Like I think Meg really can flow.
Absolutely.
Glorilla's fire.
Glorilla, yeah.
I love Gorilla. I think Lotto really can flow.
Absolutely,
you know
yeah.
Lotto's fire.
That one girl, Lady London, you know, I don't think she mainstream yet. She can flow. Like it's some girls that don't do the stripper rap. You know
Doja Cat can really rap too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they have a good balance of raps and pussy raps.
I put her more like in pop, like R&B. I feel like I don't know, because I don't buy like a Doja rap like album, but I wouldn't mind like smashing. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely look good. She's sexy. You know what I'm saying? But,
she's in my algorithms too.
Yeah,
for non-music related things.
You know what I mean? Like I kind of see like she can go in either category, but I see her more as like an R&B singer or a pop.
Yeah, check out her most recent album. That was last year, right?
Yeah,
she's rapping on that.
But
it's a little less pop than.
She had to Paint the Town Red or something. Yeah,
that was a single on it. Yeah,
yeah.
That album was crazy. Looking at her naked, like, I was like, damn.
She's trying to paint the town.
I love that she natural. She had no BBLs and yeah.
Yo, T, is your girl home? You all right? Like you just
you know who I am.
Yeah, she knows.
Honestly,
it's a beautiful relationship. You know who I am.
She know what you know what kind of man I am.
What do you think about the music your kids listen to?
I hate it. Like, there's nothing against the artists that they like. You know what I'm saying? It's just what I get from when my son's like playing this shit loud in his room, like I'm like, that shit trash. And he like yelling it. Who is he
listening to though? Who is he listening to? Who is he listening to?
Rod Wave. Like he loves like Rod Wave.
Okay.
And he's like
forcing themselves to be depressed.
That song's trash. And he like called him by his whole government. And I'm like, dude, nasty, man. Like get off of it. Like straight up.
That's why I don't like soft parenting. I like that.
Yeah.
And he like rock. No, we don't do soft parenting. That don't work for us.
Nah, not at all.
I'm the only one that's allowed to have big feelings.
Yeah.
All my kids are habitual line steppers. It's like no matter how many times I yell at them or threaten them or take shit, teenagers are weird, man.
Yeah, they know dad got a soft spot, man. They know dad got a soft spot.
They know I do. I do more threatening than anything.
Oh, of course. You got to.
Yeah. I do more threatening than anything, but their music is trash. It's trash.
If your son wanted to go to the Rod Wave show in Phoenix, would you go with him?
It was actually out here. I did not go with him. I let him go by himself. And I almost killed his ass. And he walked back up in here at like 3 a.m. I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill him. I'm like, come on now. I'm like,
no, but Rod Wave is, it's
not for me. But
it's not for me. But it's like the more, I want to be depressed. I'm gonna out depress everybody and tell everybody how.
That is?
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's like it's like I'm gonna be sadder than anybody.
Yeah, it's like sad cosplay because you could tell like he's rich and happy.
Yeah.
But he's just been crying.
I can't do it.
He's faking suicide at the show. Like,
oh my God.
just fake jumping off buildings and shit.
I can't do it. Like, that move, that's just not for me. Shout out to them. But like, a lot of these new artists, they got like their own following. They got their own wave. Like,
he does arenas.
They're going to move regardless.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Gates. I think I probably only heard maybe like one Kevin Gates song in my life, but the dude has constant motion. Like, his concerts be selling out. He'll get a chick on stage, spit in her mouth. I'm like...
You should actually listen to Gates though, because if you love X and Jay-Z, Gates could spit. You would actually fuck with his music.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, his interviews kind of like scare me off.
Yeah,
like
that was shit with me too.
Shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, come on, man, you gonna smash your cousin? Like, come on.
It's not in the music at all.
Even if you being for real, you can't
say it. Yeah. No, but his music is, I think his music, you growing up on the same type of music we grew up on, or I grew up on, I think that you would appreciate some of the Kevin Gates shit though. Honestly.
Really? And a lot of his content
like that.
is similar to X as well. He's definitely more on the grimy side. He's not rapping about weird shit like fucking his cousin or anything, I promise.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
No,
Gates, you gotta check him out.
I was scared too when I would see like the Genius shit, and I saw a few freestyles, but it didn't convince me enough to like go to the album. I love Kevin Gates now.
Really?
He can really rap. Yeah.
I think you'll like it.
I'm going to check him out. You learn something new every day.
We're gonna check in with you in a month and see if you listen to any of the Kevin Gates shit.
Check it out?
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching you to make sure see if you posting any videos of his music in the back. I'm gonna be following your socials just to see what you're doing. But I think you'll fuck with Kevin Gates though.
I want to see. All right. We're gonna see. Check back in a month.
Yeah.
I actually have this fear with my daughter. I mean, she's only 2 years old, but once she gets older and I want to start playing her the music I grew up on, I'm almost convinced she's going to think it's trash and it's going to break my heart. Like, have you played your kids X, Jay-Z, any of that stuff? And they just looked at you like, why would you like this?
Yeah.
That's one of my fears.
They haven't said it was trash, but they just like, nah, you old. They haven't said it was weak. They're like, nah, that's old, Dad. That's old. You need to listen to this or this and to that. Like, my daughter like loves like Lil Baby. I like Lil Baby. He's a person that, like, in their era, like their genre of music. I think he makes really good music.
Yeah, for sure.
I like him. I like Gunna. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a few of them I do like. I like the Baby. You know what I mean?
Okay. Baby's dope.
He seemed like he part of the institution. Like, he would be a Raven. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he looked like he like one of us. Like, all us Ravens, like, we're all a little fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are special.
Yeah.
We Ravens, man. It's just us. Ozzie Newsome know how to pick them.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Is that like, do you feel that immediately in the locker room? Like, your rookie year, did you look around and like, all these, I have not met these guys, but I could tell they're just like me?
Okay, so the vet,
who was your vet when you came in?
Adelius Thomas.
Okay.
AD was my vet. We got a great relationship. He's still like a big brother to me. We still got a good relationship. But like, they haze me. All right. Like, they like, all right, you're a rook. We're gonna welcome you to the NFL and we're gonna see you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what you got. And like, by the end of training camp, they gonna know, all right, if you one of us or you not. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go through, you know what I'm saying, my traditional hazing, but it was kind of like, after a while, it became fun. It was just like, man, these motherfuckers, like, this is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to play ball. But then it got fun, and then, like, they started to warm up to your personality, and then you like, oh, we all are the same. We just a different brand of Kool-Aid. Some of us is grapefruit punch, strawberry, you know what I'm saying? We just our own different brands of the same product, you know what I mean? But it was dope. So AD was my vet, and yeah, like, I wouldn't say, like, because training camp, your first training camp is a bitch. Like, it sucks. It's long. You're getting your ass kicked every day. Like, your first training camp sucks. You know what I'm saying? But like, after training camp, I was like, we're pretty dope. This is a pretty dope group of guys. And it was like the first time I ever been a part of a team that had like more than one dog. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there was the alpha male, but then all them captains underneath him, underneath the general, like, all badasses, you know what I mean? You go down a dark alley with everybody under him is like, all right, we all ass kickers. Let's we dogs. Let's go do this. You know what I'm saying? So like it was the first team that I ever been on that I wasn't the top dog. And then like it was like, not only am I not the top dog, it's like 10 of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And all of us do this. You
Everybody can play. Yeah.
Yeah. It was dope, man. It was real dope.
Y'all had one of the best defenses. Well, for a few years, the defense of the Baltimore Ravens. That's what y'all hung your hat on. When you first got to the league, who was the first player that you lined up across that you realized like, oh shit, this is a different level?
Jonathan Ogden. Of course, he was on my team.
Yeah.
He was the first person that I realized like, dude, this ain't college. Like, you're not, the shit you did in college, you're not gonna be able to do all that shit up here. You know what I'm saying? So Jonathan Ogden, he was just like this big ass gentle giant, never got angry or anything, and he just kicked your ass every day. And then gave you 5, hey man, good job, Never raised his voice.
Yeah.
So not teammate, that wasn't my teammate, the first person I went up against. He was my teammate in college. So Levi Jones, I played against him like, he was like the very first athletic tackle I ever played against, but I played against him in college. You know, we were teammates in college. So Levi, we always had our battles, but I would say the first person that I would probably say really got after me or like whooped my ass, Willie Rofe. You know what I'm saying? Like Willie Rofe was huge. Yeah. He just beat the shit out of me. And that wasn't like my rookie year. I was like 2 or 3 years in.
Yeah.
Willie Rofe shit out of me. Both of his guards were tough. Brian Waters and Will Shields. You know, they Chiefs. They was really tough. And Walter Jones, he was like a 6'6", 6'7" left tackle that ran like a 4'5" or a 4'6". He was like freakishly athletic. Like he was just cheating. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like Walter Jones, like I've had some battles with them dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah.
Who's the toughest running back?
Huh?
Who's the toughest running back?
Who's the toughest running back? Brandon Jacobs. So we played this motherfucker in a preseason game. You know, Brandon Jacobs is as big as linebacker. You know, he like 250, 260.
Yeah.
And they got me off the ball, motherfucking playing off the ball linebacker. Now, if anybody knows like my game, it's not back there. Yeah. You know, I'm at the line of scrimmage and going forward. Yeah. But this particular play, I'm off the ball, and this motherfucker had a cutback. Like the run is away, and he cut back. And it's just me and him. Now, I'm not going to say I lost this battle, but I didn't win it either. And it seemed like I was trying to like tackle this motherfucker for like a minute. And I'm thinking like, yo, where the fuck is this badass defense at that we supposedly calls us? Like, we supposed to be swarming. We all supposed to be hitting this motherfucker. I'm not supposed to be hitting him by myself. So I smashed right into Brandon Jack. Bam. And no, this was 20-something. This was about 20 years ago. Like, like I'm still talking about this hit. Like that collision, like I'm like, yo, that's not for me. If I gotta do that shit for a career, I'm not gonna be here very long. Brandon Jacobs was a dog. Adrian Peterson, he was a motherfucking dog. And nobody knows this guy. His name was like Kevin Jones. He went to Virginia Tech. And he played for the Detroit Lions. And the dude only knew like one tempo. He's like to me, he's the unfamous Marshawn Lynch. Like he just always was on. And, you know, but this is when Detroit wasn't good. They didn't have like good blocking tight ends and good offensive linemen. So he never got to show what he really could do. But that kid under behind a good offensive line or a good running scheme, he easily could have like led the league in rushing. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Jones was a dog. Like, yeah.
You played running back in high school. Do you think that because you played that at some point in your career, that kind of helped you? Because I think you still do lead the NFL all time in tackles for losses. Do you think that
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Do you think that because you played that position, you're able to read the running back a little better than most guys on defense?
I think somewhat. I think playing running back, I think it helped me like with my feet, just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, with my footwork, so to say. So like, I think it helped in that aspect, but you got to understand like who we dealing with here. Like we talking about the best of the best. You starting NFL running back is the best in the world. Right. You know what I mean? Especially then. This is when they actually ran the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't so pass happy like it is now.
Right.
Like they was in three tight ends, running powers and plunges, you know what I'm saying? Counters. They don't do that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? But like this is when like the back was the most important. You know what I'm saying? It was the quarterback, then it was the running back. You know what I mean? And then receivers. Now, of course, the quarterback and receivers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a pass happy game. But this is when you was facing against a Hall of Fame back almost every week. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the backs coming that had that crazy speed, the Chris Johnson and Reggie Bushes. You know what I'm saying? People don't know that, like, Fred Taylor, he's 6'3", 220 pounds. He runs a 4.3. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is when the backs were backs.
Right.
AP all day. They call him all day long. Like, we at the Pro Bowl, you know, you at the Pro Bowl with your family. We out there getting drunk. This dude out there drinking water. And like nobody caught on.
We're in Hawaii.
He broke the Pro Bowl rushing record. Like, dude out there, we like, dude, you do realize this is a pickup football game. Like, we having fun. We don't try to win until it's fourth quarter. No. Like, I'm trying to win the MVP. I'm trying to break the record. Went out there drinking water.
He came out there on business. Yeah, on
business. Like when Sean Taylor knocked that punter out.
It was a game to him. You know, when you go to the Pro Bowl, from the moment you get on the plane, they start feeding you Mai Tais. Like, you like, I'm getting drunk. I'm getting drunk the whole week. Like, if y'all see me sober, then I failed you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing the Pro Bowl right. You know what I mean? And like, all of us were getting drunk. He was the only person sober and went out there and ran for like 230 yards against the world's best football players.
Insane. I mean?
World's best hungover football player.
Yeah.
World's best hungover football player.
What was it like?
Pro Bowl was the Pro Bowl, baby.
What was it like in the locker room and just being around the legend that Ray Lewis is?
Man, it was dope. Like, you know, of course, you know, we're boys club. We can't say everything that was said and done and stuff like that. But like, dude was it's not a facade. You know what I mean? Like, dude is a real leader. Like, that's who he is. The Ray Lewis y'all get is the Ray Lewis he is. Like, it's not, that's why it's so enticing and intriguing, you know what I mean? Like, intriguing. Like, dude, that's who he is. And like, he's a leader. Like, he got a relationship with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, of course, you know, you intimidated, you like, oh shit, it's Ray Lewis. It's just like being on a team with Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first time a rookie got on a team and saw Michael Jordan and be like, yo, that's Michael Jordan right there. Like, you done seen everything this dude done did. You know what I'm saying? And in my rookie year, he won Player of the Year that year too. You know, he won in 2000 when they won the Super Bowl. And then my rookie year, he won Player of the Year, only for Ed Reed to win it the next year. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So this is the locker room I'm in. You know what I mean? Not to mention all the other psychotic motherfuckers we got up in there, like the ADs, the Peter Boulwares, the Bart Scotts, you know what I'm saying? The Greg, Jerry Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Years later, Chris McAllister. Years later, we got DeJuan Landry back. Like, we had guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, our personnel was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason we only got one Super Bowl is because, like, a lot of those times we didn't have an offense. You know what I mean? Like, we ended up losing in the playoffs because we couldn't score. But first time you walk in that locker room, like, and you like see him and you see how he carries and like how his day to day. First thing I noticed about Ray Lewis, he like always had a gallon of water. I'm like, dude, why you walking around with a gallon of water for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you didn't get no Gatorade? Like, nah, you know, I got to hydrate. You know what I'm saying? I got to keep everything moving. Like, he's the extreme professional at like all times. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you know, he lets his hair down, you know what I'm saying? Back when we all had hair. You know what I mean? Like, he one of the guys and shit. You know what I mean? Have fun. You know what I mean? participated. We threw a racial draft, like on Dave Chappelle, like you got the draft. So we had one of the guys on our team. And Ray Lewis, like the first person he drafted was the owner. Like, yeah, we're gonna take the owner. We drafting the money. You know what I'm saying? And then Jerry
Johnson, he was on the table.
like the white liaison, and he get to pick. All right, which one of the brothers he get? They get to. It was all fun, man.
Yeah,
it was a great locker room. It was a great locker room. It was because him and Ed Reed were our leaders. You know what I'm saying?
When y'all went out, was it more Baltimore or DC?
DC, you can't hang out in Baltimore.
You can't hang out. Ain't no hanging out in Baltimore.
Wasn't sure if you went to like a Baltimore club music type vibe or something, but yeah.
And
your facilities were in West Baltimore, right?
Yeah. like our city embrace us. Like we're there. Like we're like their family members, right? But don't have a bad game, and one of the dope boys see you out, man. Like you gonna hear it. And you're gonna be like, man, fuck out of here, man. It's a game. You're like, man, what the fuck? And then you're gonna lose it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if you have a bad game, the city gonna let you know.
Right.
What the fuck you out there doing that fuck shit for? You know what I'm saying?
No, the Wire was real for sure.
The Wire is real. Like
100%.
They didn't skip a single scene.
I think definitely HBO had to dilute that shit. They're like, we gotta tone this down a little bit. Like, we'll never get on air. You know what I'm saying? But the Wire is definitely real. Like Baltimore is Baltimore. It's 100%. You hang out in Baltimore, you better have your affairs in order. You know what I'm saying?
Going out in DC and Baltimore, well, not Baltimore, but DC, club music was a shock to me the first time I heard club music and went out. Like Baltimore club music is different, and go-go music is wild to me too. I love it now, but I was initially kind of thrown back the first time I heard that type of stuff. Was that crazy coming from Arizona to then going out in DC and hearing go-go?
Right. So you what the fuck is this shit? This is repetitive as house music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, I can't get no honey to this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they go crazy over it. It's like their version of chopped and screwed for Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like their own thing that they understand and they kind of they feel and they get into a good vibe with it. It's like their fun party music. You know what I mean? So, but the women are top tier.
DMV women are some of the best in the world.
So, men, we gonna go wherever the women are, and we gonna like whatever the women like.
That's a fact.
They want to dance to go, boom. Next thing you know, it's in the car next week. When you picking them up,
you learn how to do the swing that shit dance.
You know what I'm saying? Man, I've been on this shit. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, 2011, you won Defensive Player of the Year. What was your playlist sounding like? What was your pregame routine as far as what you were listening to, working out, getting ready for the game? What was in your ears?
It was definitely 50 Cent. Because remember, the year of 50 is 2003. It's the year I was drafted.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the year of LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But the 50 wave was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he got a song on there. It's called If I Can't.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I got introduced, they play it. It's like my theme song.
Yeah.
So I would say that was definitely in my playlist. Before every game, If I Can't. And remember 2011, Ray and Ed still there, so I didn't get introduced last. So they wasn't playing the song. They were playing Ray's song, Hiding Here.
Yeah.
But my playlist before every game, and it happened up until my last game, it was 50 Cent, If I Can't. Of course, Ball So Hard, that came out that year too. Ball So Hard, that Watch the Throne of Jay-Z and Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
So Ball So Hard was on there. I got to think of what else. It was 2011, man. It was a good year. It was, I think DJ Khaled's I'm on One. That's 2011.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That may be 12.
Yeah, it was toward the end of 11 going into 12, yeah.
Yeah, all of them is all around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Around that time. It was a good time, man.
What was Ray Lewis and Ed listening to in the locker room? For some reason, I feel like Ed Reed listens to classical jazz in the locker room.
Ed Reed's an old soul. He's a Frankie Beverly and the Maid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ed Reed's a real old soul. Isley Brother, I think that's in there.
Okay.
Who's besides Frankie Beverly? They play it at all the cookouts.
Gap Band?
The Gap Band.
Gap Band. Like, these are all A. Reed people. You know what I'm saying? Ray, I think he more gospel.
Okay. That's hilarious. Every listening to the Gap Band, Ray Lewis listening to the gospel, and they'll both knock the shit out you.
Yeah. They'll both knock the shit out you. Will knock the shit out you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, one will argue,
on and off the field.
Ray is probably the best ever to do it from the middle spot. The best ever listening to gospel music before he takes your head off, before he puts you on one of his highlights. You know what I'm saying? So I think Ray was gospel. I think he had you know what was big? Because you know they from Florida. What's big in Florida is, I want to say the big timers or Cash Money.
Yeah.
Like Cash Money was huge in Florida. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I think he was listening to Juvenile too. Okay. So I think he had he started with gospel maybe, and right before he went out, because he had to put the cape on, you know what I'm saying? He had to go to the phone booth. So I think right before he went out, he put that Juvenile, that 400 Degrees on. That 400. Yeah.
Now in 2012, on your Super Bowl run, you came back from an Achilles injury. You came back ahead of schedule, actually. What was you doing? Because to come back from Achilles, as you know, is one of the most devastating injury in sports. What did you do to kind of get ahead of the schedule and return so soon? What was your workout regimen? I know you had a crazy playlist. What was you going through? What mindset was you in?
I was I knew we were on the brink, and I had just won Player of the Year, and I just didn't want them to do it without me. I didn't want them to do it without me. So, doctor, I had the best, foot doctor in America. You know what I'm saying? His name Bob Anderson. He was like, Terrell, I understand. I deal with this all the time. I know you're an athlete. You're going to want to do stuff. The best thing I'm going to tell you to do is to don't do anything. Don't try to work out your upper body. Don't do anything for 2 months. He said the first 2 months, you're going to be miserable because you're going to be so bored laying in the bed. So I got a hedge schedule by not doing anything. I just stayed still, you know what I mean, for 2 months. And then he was like, I'm going to have you in a walking boot. And then from there, it's on you. You decide how fast you come back. So once I got in that boot, I was just working that motherfucker every day. I was just overdoing it. They tell you, all right, you got to rehab it for at least an hour and a half or two of fatigue. I was doing that 2 or 3 times a day. I was doing 3 a day, just trying to get it back. And that was doing towards the end of the summer, going into training camp. And I was just running, and I was able, once I was able to walk, I was able to speed walk. You know what I'm saying? And then speed walks going to jogging going in a little faster jog, and then next thing you know, before you know it, you running. You know what I'm saying? And then you sprint, and then you got to get your explosion back, but then you got to get all your football and your timing and all that shit back. But it was just a lot of man hours, man. It was a lot of long days and man hours, and my pain tolerance had to go up, and I just put myself through it, and I was able to get back. Of course, I got back, but I still wasn't the same player I was the year before.
Right.
Able to play. But I went back to myself. I think I didn't really fully gain back to being myself probably to 2014. 2 years later. So it took 2 years. Yeah.
What's been the key to having a career as long as you had? Because, obviously football players tend to have the shortest professional career just off the physicality. 17 years at your position is very, very rare. What do you think the key was that you were doing?
I would definitely say being a professional, taking care of your body. Because of course, when you're young, you're ignorant. You don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You're not dieting all the time. You know what I'm saying? And you can get it in shape in a week or 2 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But when you get older, that shit ain't so easy. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch what you eat all the time. You know what I'm saying? Bad enough, being a NFL player or a professional athlete, your job is year round anyway. You don't really get no off time.
Right.
the season's off, but you're not off. You still got to train, you still got to diet and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So when you're younger, you get away with being young. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go hang out and still go to work out in the morning and not really affect you. You know what I'm saying? Not so much when you get older. So when I got older, I had to cut all that shit out. And it's like, all right, I will do some, all right, I'll go hang out with the guys like on a Saturday. That way I got Sunday to kind of recover and go work out on Monday. So definitely the key, you have to be the ultimate professional. If you want to have a long career, your body is your number one thing. You got to always take care of your body, even the little ailments, your feet. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to start getting pedicures, you know what I mean? Like I didn't start getting massages until like my 8th or 9th year in the league. And I was thinking like, damn.
I should have been doing
like
this.
My first 4 years, like if I did like got massages, sports massage, like my first 4 or 5 years in the league, you know what I'm saying? And it took like Haloti Nada, he was like, Sid, you don't get massages? I was like, nah, I just never thought to get one. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh no, he gave me a massage and it was 2 girls. Like they massage you at the same time. It was 2 women.
That spot. Yeah, I know that spot.
You know what I'm saying? It was 2 women. And like, I know it sounds like that, but no, it's legit. It's legit. Like they like stretch you and turn you. That's when, and then I got into dry needling. Like I have a big fear of needles.
Okay.
So anything concerning a needle, I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? But they started dry needling and that helps you recover fast. Like it's painful. It hurts while you're doing it. But the next day, it's like you feel brand new. It's like you never was injured. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take care of your body. And like, when I first saw Ray with that gallon of water, man, like...
Took you back to the gallon.
It took you back to the gallon. So, like, normal people should drink, like, a gallon of water a day. Like, athletes, we should drink, like, maybe 2.5. Because we're moving and hitting each other, you know what I'm saying? We're active, like, all the time. You know what I'm saying? At an extreme rate. So, definitely a gallon of water. You got to cut out the juices and shit. And take the water.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah. You gotta take care of yourself.
I mean, I know we're not really allowed to talk about it, but the league just snubbed you, so let's get into it. You're talking about physical health. Having a 17-year career and some of the things we've seen with former athletes from Aaron Hernandez, Junior Seau, have you focused on your brain health at all because you have had such a long career?
All the time. So
I know the NFL wants to hide this and claim Aaron Hernandez was gay. That's what made him do it.
Every player, if you played at least 3 years, like studies have shown, just like, you know, of course, after, you know, some players pass away, like every player that played at least 3 years had like some small sort or trace of brain damage. You know what I'm saying? So when I had stopped playing, like my last year was the 2019 going into the 2020 season, and then COVID happened. You know what I'm saying? So that weird shit happened, and like I felt my brain just kind of like, you know what I mean? I just didn't feel normal. So I was like, all right, I know the brain's a muscle, so I gotta get this motherfucker working again. You know what I'm saying? When you're playing football, it's taking care of your brain because you're thinking all the time. You know what I'm saying? But so like I had to like get this machine working. So I just started reading books, man. Like I had to use my brain. You know what I mean? I had to keep this motherfucker working because it's real. Like real. Like, cause what we do, we hitting each other with our heads at very high speeds, like repeatedly. Bam, bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, I did it for 17 years and I did it you know what I mean, over and over. You know what I'm saying? And so like, of course, like I'm paying attention to it and I'm checking my moods and stuff like that. But like mainly, I just try to like read. You know what I mean? I try to like do stuff to like get my mind working and have to like, you know, think and shit.
Yeah.
So
is that something you guys talked about in the locker room or maybe amongst retired players? Is that actually like a theme that players talk about a lot?
It comes up, like we do talk about it. Like we not shy about it. We're not taboo. And like more so now than ever. You know what I mean? It's like you have to be aware because you like every day you hear about some former player like clapping himself in a hotel room. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, check on, what I'm saying, your people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like all of us, we all still kind of like in our group chat, like check in, like, yo, we good?
You know that's dope. That's
I love that.
Because it's real, we just lost Jacoby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just lost Jacoby. So, that hit all of us. And it was just like, it's like, it's letting us know, like, it reminds us that how precious time really is. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest misconception is thinking you have time. But, you know what I mean? Like I said, like, we do talk about it. And of course, like, former players talk about it because that's usually when it happens. You know what I mean? Like when you're playing, you're too busy. You know what I mean? You got your job, and then you got your family, and then you got your girl, and then you got your side piece or whatever, and you got your other, you know what I mean? Whatever else you got going on. When you're playing, it's busy, but then you stop playing and it gets quiet. You know what I mean? They say the idle mind is the devil's playground. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be alert to all of that.
What did you think of Will Smith's accent in Concussion?
I thought it was terrible. I thought he did a good job.
Did you think the information got out there?
I'm like, no, that's not no African accent. You know what I'm saying? But
it was like if I tried to do one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good, but movie was good though.
Movie was really good. Before we get into trivia, we got some questions for you. But before we get into that, 2 questions: Ray Lewis or Lawrence Taylor?
Ray Lewis.
You answered that fast. Like
it's been an ongoing thing. Like, LT. I think like LT kind of like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but like LT be like, no, I'm D linebacker, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, LT, like you had like a little edge, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't block nobody
that was the
on
coach.
that shit. You know what I mean? Who's gonna block him? He already was a phenomenal talent. He had a little extra incentive. Come on, now. It's like nobody blocking that shit, but Ray good,
Yeah.
And he was just Ray.
Yeah.
So I give the edge to Ray.
All right, and who was your most underrated quarterback you faced, and who was the most overrated quarterback you faced?
Who's the most underrated? Who was underrated that was really good? I think Carson Palmer.
Oh, okay.
I think Carson Palmer, like, I don't think he got his flowers because he did all his career in Cincinnati and it wasn't that good. I think they had one like playoff appearance in his time there, and then came down and kind of like revamped his career here in Phoenix. But like the man can make every throw. You know what I'm saying? Like you put Carson Palmer like with a good team.
Yeah.
He has at least 3. Dude had talent.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
would say Carson Palmer. Overrated? Who was overrated? I think Phillip Rivers is overrated.
Absolutely.
I don't mean he didn't win any Super Bowls, so I don't think you could say he was overrated. I don't know. I mean, like you only know the really good ones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You only know the really good ones. The coach, you got, the guy from Foxborough 12, you got Peyton, Drew, Roethlisberger. I would say he's underrated. I mean, he's a 2-time, Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
Played 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would say Roethlisberger is underrated. And like he got more rings than Rodgers. He got more rings than Breeze. You know what I'm saying? He got like more rings than Marino. Like when you think about it, he's got he got as many as Peyton and Eli. You know what I'm saying? So I would say Roethlisberger. He's probably the most underrated.
Next to Carson Palmer.
I don't know.
Damn, the Steelers fans are going to be so happy to hear that with y'all rivalry.
I would have to look and think, and they was like, oh, this guy is that. And I'm like, he wasn't really like that. But the ones who they say are like that. The Rodgers, the Brady's, the man, like they are like that. Like the motherfuckers can make your nights long.
Yep,
you know
Pat Mahomes.
You know what I'm saying? Like those guys, yeah. But other than that, like nobody really stands out. Everybody kind of like muddles in the pack.
Yeah.
I feel like in your 17 years, you saw like 3 eras of tight ends. Whether it was blocking, then it was just little 5 to 6 yard routes. And now these motherfuckers are running like Randy Moss. What was the most annoying tight end era that you faced?
I would probably say like the mid 2000s to the 2010s, the Gates, the Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Kellen Winslow Jr. was a fucking problem. He's one of those tight ends that run routes and shit like receivers.
Yeah.
Like Kellen Winslow was a problem. Like he was too fast for linebackers and he was too big for DBs. So like the only person that can color Kellen was Ed Reed. Why? They played college ball together. You know what I'm saying? They part of that Canes 2000-2001 team. You know what I'm saying? So like Kellen Winslow was a problem. Vernon Davis, problem.
Vernon Davis, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people don't know this, but like Delaney Walker, he was on that Super Bowl team with them. It's a 4-3 problem. Like I can't cover them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like them era tight ends was a problem. Now like Kelsey's a problem now. Kittle, you know what I'm saying? Andrews, Mark. I'm missing one. There's another tight end that's there now. Like I can't think, but I said the big 3. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, retired, but Gronk, and I mean, even Hernandez before that, athletic, big as fuck. Like, how do you?
Gronk was big as fuck, but Hernandez was like he was a problem.
He would have been
route you the fuck up. Like Aaron Hernandez was a fucking hell of a football player. Too bad, he was that was his second job.
Yeah.
His first job, he was a gangster. Like I was like, he was shit. Like,
Terrell said he's sick, dude.
I forgot. It wasn't just the incident that he got caught and get in trouble for. It came out like, oh, you had been clapping niggas for a minute.
Yeah, that was like his 6th body once he got caught.
Oh my God. And
it was like 2 unsolved in Florida.
On the field, like a couple times. Like
you ain't know who you was fucking with.
Raven Patriot games got real chippy, and I'm like, yo, I'll beat the fuck out you.
Yeah.
It'd be like, yo, I'll kill you. Like, motherfuckers probably like telling the truth. I'm like, oh. When it comes out,
he had gunpowder on his hands, on his gloves.
Yeah.
That was his stick 'em.
About that action.
Yeah. Like, for real. He not fucking around.
He's not fucking around.
Not even a little bit.
Like, hello, dog, I got to kill this guy because he got information on 2 other people.
Yo,
what's going on?
You said you got drunk before the Pro Bowl. Aaron Hernandez would smoke dust, murder somebody, and then go to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and then go to the Pro Bowl and murder people there. You know?
Bodies in Hawaii.
Literally, but on the field, like Aaron Hernandez was a problem.
Yeah,
he was a problem.
Yeah,
and, he had arguably the best quarterback throwing to him ever. Like them Patriot teams were a problem, and it's because they had that 2-headed monster and Gronk and Hernandez. So.
Yeah, I think Antonio Gates and Vernon Davis kind of like were the leaders into that new transition that we have now with tight ends. It was the 2 of them it was just like unfair.
Like Gates, it was real deceptive. Gates about 6'2", 6'3". He wasn't real big, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't like no ass kicker in the run. He held his own, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was no pushover or anything like that. Like Kellen Winslow didn't block at all.
Right.
Like we do. Like when it was run, all right, boom, we're playing 10 on 11 because Kellen ain't gonna hit nobody or block nobody. But when they was throwing that motherfucker, that shit was a problem. And like Gates, like he would route your ass up like real fast. No joke. Like Gates was no joke. And Vernon Davis just had like lightning speed. Like Vernon Davis was crazy too.
For sure.
Like that era, I think is I would give the edge to, because like you said, they had the Gronk, they had Hernandez, you know, they had I would even put Tony Gonzalez in that late era.
Yeah, for sure.
That era. Yeah. I would get an edge to that. Yeah. To them.
All right, T. Before we get out of here, we're gonna shoot 3 questions at you. I believe you have some questions for us as well.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna ask you a question first, and then you ask us to see how much, or find out exactly how much ball we do not know. So first question for you: what song won Best Rap Song at the 2011 Grammys? That's the year that you won Defensive Player of the Year. Was it A, Otis, Jay-Z and Kanye; B, All of the Lights, Kanye, Rihanna, Kid Cudi; C, Black and Yellow, Wiz Khalifa; or D, Look at Me Now, Chris Brown and Busta Rhymes? This is for Best Rap Song at the 2011 Grammys. Otis, All of the Lights, Black and Yellow, or Look at Me Now?
I want to say Black and Yellow because that shit was everywhere, but I'm going to go with Otis.
No, it is All of the Lights.
Wow.
Kanye, Rihanna, and
All
Kid
of the
Cudi.
Lights with Rihanna and
Kanye.
I mean, that probably charted higher, but I'm with you. You could not escape Black and Yellow in 2011.
You could not escape. It was everywhere.
Also, you were playing the Steelers twice a year at minimum, so...
Yeah, that's all you hear.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No, you could not escape that. Actually, matter of fact, you couldn't escape Look at Me Now, Chris Brown, I would say, over All the Lights.
No, you can't. No, because, you know, Busta had that sick verse that everybody go crazy.
And we still don't know what he said. we still have no idea what he said.
Yeah. Hell no.
All right, you got one for us?
Busta murdered that shit. But is it my go?
Yeah.
My go to ask y'all one?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, who was the quarterback of the team we beat in the Super Bowl? In Super Bowl 47. Was it A, Alex Smith; B, Matt Ryan; C, Cam Newton; or D, Colin Kaepernick?
What year did you say it was?
This was 2012.
It's Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, Kaepernick. 49ers, yeah.
Colin Kaepernick, yeah. It's when they turned the lights out on you niggas.
That's when they turned the lights out.
That was a rough Super Bowl.
We finna fuck the score up. We finna fuck up the money.
You took a knee.
We finna put 50 up.
Yeah, it got ugly. They had to they had to unplug the whole arena. Like, hold up, this shit about to get ugly.
Unplug that shit.
We need some more time back here.
I just want to know, I want to be proud. I think that was the first question Maul and I both got right in this entire series.
Yeah, we know a little bit of ball. We know a little bit. All right.
Pretty good. Okay.
All right, what song was #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 the day you won the Super Bowl with the Ravens in 2013? Was it Locked Out of Heaven, Bruno Mars; Suit and Tie, Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake; Thrift Shop, Macklemore; or Diamonds, Rihanna? This was #1 on Billboard Hot 100 the day that you won the Super Bowl.
I would have got this wrong.
Locked Out of Heaven, Bruno Mars; Suit and Tie, Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake; Thrift Shop, Macklemore; or Diamonds by Rihanna?
I'm only struggling with this. I want to say, I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to say Macklemore because I think he beat Kendrick that year for Best Rap Album.
Yep.
So I want to say Macklemore.
That is correct.
You are correct. I would have went Rihanna Diamonds.
Yeah,
I was gonna go Diamonds too.
That would have been my guess.
Huge. Like, of course, we thinking about the music we listen to and like we heard everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we went out, Diamonds
everywhere.
Came out with the remix and shit. Mm-hmm. So Diamonds was huge. But like I said, I remember Macklemore beating Kendrick Lamar, and like the world was like, "What?"
Yeah. He not only
it had to come from somewhere.
He not only beat Kendrick, he beat Kanye, Yeezus, he beat Drake, Nothing Was the Same, he beat Magna Carta. He beat like 4 classic albums.
You know? And I was just like, oh shit. I remember everybody like, what the fuck is going on with the Grammy?
I couldn't even tell you the name of that Macklemore album.
Still
Me either. I couldn't tell you a song on it.
Still don't know.
Well, Thrift Shop. No,
Thrift Shop.
The song you're talking about, I've never even heard.
Yeah. Oh, there was the one he said he was gay. I remember that one.
Yeah. That was bad ball. All right.
Awful.
Who have I sacked the most times in my career? Was it 1, Aaron Rodgers; 2, Ben Roethlisberger; 3, Carson Palmer; or 4, Tom Brady?
All right. By elimination, I'm trying to think who you'd play twice a week. So I don't know.
I'm gonna say Big
Pittsburgh
Ben.
always had a good offensive line.
I'm gonna say Big Ben.
I'll go Carson Palmer just to have a different answer here.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger. I mean,
figured Big Ben.
Steelers game.
I mean, it's the biggest rivalry in that division.
Yeah.
Big rivalry. So Ben Roethlisberger. He was close though. I think I got Carson I think Carson's like second. Or no, it's any Cleveland Browns quarterback. Any Cleveland Browns probably not too.
Whoever was back
Cleveland's
there.
been really good to me.
Whatever year they had the first pick and drafted a quarterback and it didn't work.
Yeah. He's on it. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland has always been fairly good to me. Shout out to Cleveland.
Pause before this question. Because Ben Roethlisberger was bigger than most quarterbacks, was he tougher to sack? That just felt like a weird question.
Yes, he was. And that's almost like when he became Ben Roethlisberger, he became better when the play broke down. He had to break a sack and he had to play backyard football.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want. You want him in there just kind of playing quarterback. You don't want him playing street ball. Ben Roethlisberger will light your ass up. Only person better than him at playing street ball, of course, besides Lamar Jackson, is Michael Vick. And those two are fucking phenomenal fucking athletes. You know what I'm saying?
That's a huge compliment right there.
Quarterback.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes too. Just putting Ben Roethlisberger next to them is crazy.
Pat Mahomes is good. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Pat Mahomes is good playing fucking street football. But he's so good playing fucking pocket football too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They would say, playing in the pocket, it'd be Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes playing pocket football. But when they getting loose and got to make a play, Vic, Lamar, Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, last question from us to you. Ravens fans were the first American team to popularize a chant to this song. The White Stripes, Seven Nation Army, Montel Jordan, This Is How We Do It, The Fans, Ole, Ole, or Queen, We Will Rock You.
White Stripes, Seven Nation Army. Boom, 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 boom. That was easy. Raven Empire was the Raven Empire.
Absolutely.
When Hardballs got there from that 2008 to about that 2012, 2013 run. Yeah. That shit going crazy.
I could be wrong. Is the Ravens the only team that has a actual marching band and live band at the games?
I think so.
Yeah, that was a shock to me.
Only team to have a mascot named after a poem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're the only team to have 3 different defensive players of the year drafted and play on the same team. So
that's
fucking crazy.
We
What's up with Ozzie Newsome, man? What the hell's going on? Ozzie, man.
He should be the first person to be in the Hall of Fame twice as a player and as a GM.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
As a player and as a GM, he's had 2 Hall of Fame careers.
Deserved it.
Ozzie look like he'll slap the shit out you too.
Oh, he'll slap shit out. But Ozzie, he like our uncle, man. Ozzie, he like a real good stepdad.
Yeah.
The last question for y'all is, who has the most sacks all time as a linebacker? Lawrence Taylor, Von Miller, Jason Taylor, or Kevin Green?
Most sacks all time? You said
as a linebacker.
Lawrence Taylor. Who else was it? Von Miller.
Von Miller, Jason Taylor, or Kevin Green?
I feel like I remember if Von Taylor broke it.
I want to say Von because he played so many years.
Peach just laughed, so maybe I'll just take that as a hint.
Lawrence Taylor? I'm just safe bet. LT.
Oh, I mean, I did LT and Von together.
Kevin Green.
Crazy.
Really?
Kevin Green.
Never guessed that.
Wow. That's crazy.
Kevin Green. He was a dog. Remember, he was in Pittsburgh with, Lamar Perkin and Greg Lloyd.
Yeah.
That D. And then he went to Carolina, was dominating over there. Kevin Green was a dog.
God damn.
Kevin Green was a dog now.
That's crazy. Kevin Green has the most sacks as a linebacker in the NFL.
As a linebacker all time.
Yeah, no, there's no way I would have got that right. Yeah, I was going to say Von Miller because he played so long, but that's crazy. Shit. All right, well, fuck it. I guess we don't know ball, Rory.
Hey, we got two.
We
right.
got two right.
Yeah.
No, we got two right.
two right.
We know a little bit about ball.
I would say y'all do. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Terrell, we appreciate you, man, for giving us some of your time today. Again, man, you know, I'm kind of, you know, fucked up that you didn't make the first ballot Hall of Famer, but in my book, you're definitely a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about it. Not too many players have played the game the way you did and did what you did for an organization like the Baltimore Ravens. It was a pleasure watching you play, but it was even a greater pleasure having you here today, kicking it with us. So we appreciate your time, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. It's been the most fun podcast I've done, man.
I appreciate that.
Here we go.
See if I got up on my Kevin Gates.
Yeah, check out Kevin Gates, man.
Yeah.
Check out Kevin, man. We appreciate that, man.
And anytime you in New York, come up to the studio. We'll do another episode.
For sure. Let's do it.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
All right, now. I appreciate y'all.